Now, they can be lethal but are completely legal. The drugs sold across the counter, no questions asked. But now police want the laws changed as more victims come forward.
I just can't believe that in Australia you can walk into a shop and get this over a counter. People can end up dead. Because this is happening to people that work jobs, work normal jobs, 9 to 5 jobs. They have families, they have kids.
They're the copycat drugs that are available over the counter.
It's very frightening, yes.
Even though they are freely accessible in shops across the country, the dangers associated with them are similar to any illicit drug.
Year 12 student elapsed into a psychotic state on Wednesday afternoon.
They really badly mess with people's minds.
It led to the death of a man in New South Wales.
We've seen organised crime in this marketplace.
Tonight, we investigate the growing epidemic of synthetic drugs that just doesn't seem to stop, how it's ruining lives, and expose the legal loopholes that allow them to remain in stores.
I was living for the drug, not for my family, not for my wife, you know, and it was just destroying everything around me, and all I cared about was getting that fixed.
Chris Green had it all. A loving wife and 2 healthy young kids. But as he struggled to cope with the stress of his small business, the search for a way to relax landed him in trouble.
I thought it was a safe alternative because it was being sold over a counter.
The son of a pastor, Chris became so addicted, his life turned upside down.
My relationship with my wife went really downhill when I started getting real sneaky about how I'd fund this habit. I started stealing money for the bills, for the rent. I'd dip into that, and I'm sure it's the children that got me through, my kids got me through, and it's my kids that are inspiring me to speak out.
Young people are ingesting these drugs, or they're injecting them, and they actually don't know where they've been produced or what's actually been put into the product.
Major Brendan Nottle from the Salvation Army has watched this frightening trend grow over the last few years.
From Perth to Melbourne, from Adelaide to Brisbane, right across the entire country, there are these synthetic drugs that are for sale.
New data reveals that synthetic drugs have been responsible for a confirmed total of 5 deaths over the last 14 months. Many more go unaccounted.
Yeah, I mean, with illegal drugs, you have to go behind closed doors, down dark alleys, meet up with shady people, and these guys run retail stores, they're businessmen, they sell products in their stores, and you can just walk straight in broad daylight and get this stuff. It's sort of a false sense of security.
And for Chris, no matter how hard he tried to give up,
it was easy to get, because all I had to do was catch a bus into town every morning, go to the shop and hand it over.
And when it comes to synthetic drugs, that's really the biggest issue. So, with a change of clothes, I set out to highlight how poor the regulations are when it comes to the sale of these shocking, yet legal substances. All that took was 2 minutes and $60, and I've just walked out of the local tobacco store here on the main street and managed to get my hands on the exact same stuff that Chris almost ruined his life with. And it's here at Australia's biggest forensic laboratory that Victoria Police are working to crack the code about the ingredients inside the drugs to try and shut down the loopholes once and for all. We were granted an exclusive look inside. The chemicals inside them, we have no idea what they do to humans, do we?
No, we don't. There's no information available as to the effect that they have on the human body.
Joe Winter, forensic scientist from Victoria Police. So if, say for example, this product got banned, what do they then do to just bring another one out?
They would just change the chemical slightly and then repackage it as a new product.
And it's that packaging that creates another curve. It often carries a disclaimer, which says not for human consumption, and offers companies an out when authorities start asking questions.
We know for a fact that these products are sometimes being produced in third world countries, in warehouses where there are absolutely no controls.
Paul Jevtovic, the CEO of the Australian Crime Commission, has stepped up his campaign to tackle this very issue.
What they're trying to do is convince people that what they're selling is legal, and by inferring that they're legal, that they're safe. And that is in fact not the case.
New South Wales is currently leading the way with legislation with some of the strictest laws in the country. But as other states work to catch up, these synthetic drugs remain in stores right across the country.
Just because you can buy something under the counter doesn't make it safe.
And we can tell you Chris is making good progress in getting his life back together with help from his family, while the push continues for tougher national legislation.